Hello everyone, I am the Sea Tactics, and welcome to the ReZero Podcast, along with special guest, aka co-host and not special guest.
Best girl summer, Garfield.
Yeah.
He is the best. Bartholomew.
Bartholomew von Flavenstein.
I am going to enslave you, ja. You will be in my chains in my basement, ja. Ja. Ja, ja, ja.
Yeah. You want to be enslaved? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
This is terrible. At least we have continuity.
All those people clicking away like right now.
Yeah, they're like, "What the fuck's this shit?" Oh, I can't say that on YouTube.
Well, we can put a timestamp in from me actually start talking about ReZero. It'll be fine. Well,
we always do.
Oh, do we? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. see how much I pay attention to the video.
Wow. So
I just show up, do my thing.
So all those times you said you watched the podcast.
I used to like listen back just for to see like how far I could improve, but then the podcast just became so long. It's like, oh god, I don't have time.
20-hour podcast? I can't listen to this. That's like our podcast now. They're like 20 hours.
You can listen to it in your sleep and then become a ReZero intellectual overnight.
We literally break everything
clever
down.
See, we are smart cookies.
We go into literally everything. Everything is broken down, from the meaning of the E in Amelia's name to the L that's not in Subaru's. Why?
I just
is an L not in Subaru's name?
I just like doing the breaking down, the sort that they do in Jashin-chan, where they slice a tail off and eat it.
As you can see, the knife cuts into the flesh.
And make them suffer.
Like a wedge, it forces the matter that was once connected apart. And then they dine on her flesh.
Yum, cannibalism.
Assault with the axiom. Remember that book? I don't remember what it's called. Read it in college. It was like a book.
I have no idea. I don't do a whole lot of reading really, like apart from ReZero. I read like the Harry Potter books and like Alex Rider when I was like a kid. But,
there's this book
not much else
of like this counselor who's like at the end revealed to be like a minion of Satan, and he was trying to make his patient go like crazy and become evil so that when he dies,
Satan!
He can like get the soul, and the soul's like a worm, and then he eats it.
Did it taste nice?
I mean, have you ever tasted a worm?
Not in recent memory.
Not in recent memory.
Maybe when I was a kid. Don't know. I have selective memory. One day I'll say Moe Elsa is our supreme overlord. The next day I'll be saying, fuck that shit. EMT.
You mean EMA?
Get out of here.
Shout out to Avi for being a special guest in the last episode. Anyways, we should totally get into chapter 33, The Pathway of the Wind. Thank you, Translation Chicken, for doing the hard work. As I could not.
That sexy beast.
I don't know Japanese, so.
Oh, arigato, I speak very good Japanese.
Why are you racist? I don't understand.
Not racist. I am pure Japanese.
We are gonna take you no kurao.
You bring great shame to the house of Garfield.
This is terrible. This is bad. This is another A+ S rank synopsis by the Sea Tactics. So let's read it.
Round of applause.
We haven't even finished. You're just already giving me applause.
That's because I wouldn't want to after you read it.
Frederica and Subaru talk about stuff. Feelings can hurt sometimes, at least for some people like Frederica. Frederica also knows about the experimental grounds and the results of them. She's also emotionally strong and likes her brother quite a bit. She also tells Subaru that Garfield is a goody big boy and likes Grandma Louise. In the second half, Subaru talks a lot. He can't find Biko. Petra is crushing hard on him, and he is skewered by Elsa. Fun times. That's it.
Bravo! No, I take my words back. That was a great synopsis. Well done.
I mean, is that not what happens?
I think Rising would like that bit about him and his sister though.
Wait,
If you're in the Discord, you'll get it.
what the hell were you? By the way, join the Discord and Garfields. But what were you listening to? I didn't say any of that.
You totally did. You 100% said Frederica wants to bang her little brother. Those are those exact words I heard.
No. What? No, I said she's also emotionally strong and likes her brother a bit.
Exactly. That's those are the exact words you just said. She wants to bang her brother.
No. No.
So should I get on to my first point and get away from this?
God damn it! I've got some notes. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 notes. Garfield. 8
Damn,
notes.
you went to town.
It may not sound like it from the synopsis, but I was really paying attention to this one.
Okay, there's a lot of good stuff in this chapter, so I'll let you go first.
We kind of learn with the conversation with Subaru and Frederica. This is like the first, several paragraphs that Garfield basically won't pass through because his connection emotionally
to Gran
to Louise-san, who is
Lars Ulrich
grandma. Yes, Lars Ulrich. I still don't understand that I don't why we're calling her Lars Ulrich, but it's a thing that keeps happening. We call her Lars each episode.
We can't decide if it's Luz or Louise, so fuck it. She is now Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, let's just go with the really extreme one, Lars Ulrich. Drummer from Metallica. Because that works. That's
carry on, please.
That's like me, like, going like, well, I don't really want to call Garfield, so I'll call him...
The Big Hog.
I'll call him Master Chief. Why not? So you're now Master Chief, because that's easier.
Thank you.
For me.
I thought I was Bartholomew.
Bartholomew von Klefenstein. But yeah, that's kind of like, Garfield won't pass through, because he likes his grandma. Now the real question is, there is no question. That's all I got.
Okay. So, oh god, now you've just done me with a whole bunch of shit to pick up. So, I have some notes about Garfield for this chapter. So, like, I like how the dialogue in the early part of this chapter shows how earnest Garfield can be, and I'll explain what I mean by this. So, Subaru says he can physically pass through the barrier, but he won't do it because of his mental issues. Is that essentially what you're saying? And then Frederica responds, the fact is that we refused. When I, his older sister, requested this of him, he had followed me all the way to the edge of the barrier, but in the end, he chose to stay inside to be with Gran, Lars Ulrich, rather than go with me. And like earlier in Arc 4, like Luz says, like she's almost terrified of going to the outside world, and she's known like nothing else like since birth. And I expect like Garfield is terrified of the outside as well, but probably because he came from the outside. That probably plays a big part of it, as well as like what the residents of the sanctuary think of the outside as well. And it kind of like ties in to the bit with him being, I guess, earnest. It ties into the first loop of the sanctuary, and Garfield takes like pity on Amelia and wants Subaru to take the trial just to like spare Amelia from the suffering. Like in that loop, he cared enough like to face his fear. And I think that's something to remember when things get a little messy later on. Like Garfield's a good guy, like deep down, like no matter how cinder he is. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hang on. I just had a side thought as I just finished that.
God damn it, Garfield.
Sorry,
Master
Chief. Master. I just thought Garfield is kind of like a deconstruction of what a sundry means for like a story in general. He has got like such erratic, bizarre behavior that makes like a plot really hard to advance sometimes. But when you see like the fantastic with like the reveal that it has and like the reasons behind like this bizarre and erratic behavior, it's going to make for something fantastic, I'm sure.
I like that about him. Because it makes the series keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
It's like once you think like, oh, Subaru's got this one down. Like all he's got to do is do this and that, and then it turns out that Garfield's like, I don't know who you are, man, and I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And then Subaru's like, oh no, I didn't take any of that into account, and now Garfield hates me.
He's one of those characters that I just really want to do like a character analysis for. Like if I can ever like stop being lazy and get my YouTube channel off the ground.
Slice Life Senpai, subscribe. Tell them to upload now.
Like I want to do like multiple videos on ReZero, some character analysis, God knows what else, just ReZero stuff in general, but maybe like other stuff as well for shows I like, you know, like the current like anime airing season, stuff like that as well. But like Garfield is one of those characters I really want to like delve into the nitty gritty. Like he's right up there with like Subaru and Amelia and like Roswell for me.
He is a rather interesting character.
Why I took his name, and why I'm having you voice him in the dub for season 2.
What are you talking about?
You're the voice actor for Garfield.
What? I don't know. Garfield, I mean, he's the wild card right now of the series.
He is, yeah.
And in an arc where there's a lot of build-up and a lot of slow pacing, he adds a lot of like spontaneity, a lot of color in some places. Not too much. He's not like, I wouldn't say he's the most colorful character. I don't really actually. Now that I think about it, this arc isn't really that colorful. I think we've probably mentioned that several times. I'm just forgetting because it's a pretty dark arc. Dark. It's a pretty dark arc. And
it gets darker.
I definitely think like the bright points, the most colorful parts are easily like Otto and Garfield.
Yeah, for sure. And like Garfield is he's going to be like the make or break character. Like I feel like when shit hits the fan for like the final loop, I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to him. And if Subaru can persuade him to join his team, I feel like it. Sorry,
continue.
That's pretty much where my thought. I was going to say something else, but then I realized it's probably going to get into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to continue that thought.
Okay, so what do you? We haven't really seen a lot of Garfield talking about his past, and I know we haven't got to that yet. But what do you? Just speculation. What do you think Garfield, knowing from what we know about Garfield now, thinks about all of this past, about his mother abandoning him, and all this stuff? I personally think that from speculation, from what we know of his character so far, I think Garfield is maybe more forgiving, and is. But at the same time, I don't think he forgets that moment.
No, I think it's something slightly different. I feel like the whole, like a lot of the stuff that like Frederica said this chapter, I feel like that, okay, yes, that happened, but I think there's, I feel like there's more. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was the question again?
What do you think Garfield thinks about all of his business with his mother and stuff?
Oh, right, okay, yeah. I think for sure he's pretty traumatized by. I think this whole thing of wanting to stay to protect Granny Louise is something of a facade, facade, however you want to pronounce it. Just judging from the way how, you know, like the first loop, he was like, you know, he like how he took pity on Amelia, you know, how he eventually like caved in because, you know, he's a good guy, and then, you know, now, you know, we've reset you know, like the facade is back up, sort of thing.
Facade, I like that.
I really don't know how to pronounce that word, but facade, okay.
No, it's facade from now on.
Facade, okay. Yeah, you know, I think for sure he's, you know, it's left like a lot of scars, I think.
Yeah, but I think Garfield is one of those guys, when it comes down to it, he'd be like, shucks, I forgive ya. You know, it's water under the bridge. At least that's what I'm getting from his personality. That being said, we don't really know a lot about Garfield. And you know more about him.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's hard to go into this without getting into spoilers because we're on like we're very close to like a Garfield backstory at the moment. I think we have a bit to go with Amelia, and then we're going to get to the Garfield stuff.
Ooh, Amelia sucks.
Amelia's the greatest. How dare you? But it's really hard to kind of like talk about this, even theorize without going into spoilers. But I think for sure there's still I think he's scared because of what happened to his mother. He's scared of the outside world for sure.
That probably.
And probably because of his mother. And
I also think Garfield really appreciates his new family and all these people. I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think Garfield is also one of those people that wouldn't.
Like
he would notice something like that when something is so important to him. I think he appreciates that, and he knows his position right now.
Yeah, it's very clear to see from the way like he and Lars Ulrich interact, and even like Frederica in this chapter makes a note to like Garfield's like affection for like Granny Luz, and for sure he's a sweetie pie. I think
he's an appreciative little boy.
That little Sundari.
Such a cutie. We got some new stuff on Roswell, kind of. It really.
I've got a few notes for Roswell in this little bit. Quite a few actually.
Subaru and Frederica are sitting down. They're talking to each other. They're like, Subaru's like, "What the hell's going on, Frederica?" And Frederica's like, "Bitch, I don't fucking know." And well, she does know, but she just repeats that over and over. It's a very weird chapter. Honestly. But she says, after all of that weird yelling at Subaru, "I'm truly sorry, but only know this. The Master is Amelia-sama and Subaru-sama's ally. As long as the two of you possess the intention to prevail in the royal selection, that much is assured." And Subaru makes a quip like, "I don't like the way she worded that." So, this got me thinking. There's everything... I mean, you could dissect every little sentence about Roswell down because of the way the things are worded. It's so mysterious. But she says, she makes this like apparent. As long as the two of you possess the intention to prevail in the royal selection, that much is assured. That got me thinking. So, if they don't possess the intention to prevail in this royal selection, does that mean that they instantly become enemies of the House of Mathers and bad things happen? Because I think that's what she's saying.
Here's a thought. What if I were to tell you that Roswell is already an enemy?
What does that even mean?
I won't say too much more.
No spoilers, Garfield. goddammit.
But going back to Roswell's mysterious ways, so why do you think like Subaru is always in the dark? So don't answer this just yet. I've got like a whole bunch more to say first. But like Frederica says, his methods are indirect and mysterious in this chapter. And she says, I think I nor Ram would deny this. And like knowing what Roswell has plotted so far with like staying out of like the witches cult attack and like the white whale back in Arc 3, does he want Subaru to remain in the dark deliberately? And if so, for what purpose? So like the narration even states that Frederica's face took on a pained expression when she's speaking about Roswell's mysterious rays. So it's like, what, does she, some people know something, and they obviously know that it can't get out. Like there's so much going on behind the scenes that Roswell doesn't want people to know, and especially Subaru. It seems, especially Subaru. I might point out. I don't think he's being kept in the dark for no reason, and for sure, I know it's going to tie into the plot. For sure.
Roswell is a little bitch. And,
he is. I've still got a few more notes on Roswell, but have you got anything else on him you wanted to say?
Well, I mean, they also, in this scene, like at the end of Subaru and Frederica talking, Subaru's like, yo, what is the experimental grounds? What was it for? Why is it called that? And then she doesn't really tell him anything, but as she leaves, she whispers at low enough to where Subaru can't hear it. And she's like, yeah, I know the results of it, but I don't know the intentions. And I was like,
she's a sneaky little devil. That's a very peculiar way to word it as well. I don't quite understand how that can be. I know for sure they're going to explain it. He always does. Like in chapter like 89 or something, or 88, something along those lines. There's been this big gaping plot hole like throughout Arc 4 that's been bugging me for so long, and they just answered it there. It's like, oh, for goodness sake. It ties into like a certain character.
Here's my theory.
And his character motivations. I'm like, Jesus.
Here's my theory.
It was genius.
This is what I think the experiment was for. I think they're sacrificing all those demi-humans, and they're going to do it to revive Echidna, to cause chaos all over the world and destroy. And that's what I think.
Joking aside, you may not be too far off. I
mean,
there've been implications before. Implications? Inferrations, I guess, of like Echidna's revival. So like throw back to chapter 15. So Echidna says like she's basically put there by possibly the Sword Saint or the Dragon. I honestly can't remember which one at this point, but she's basically there as like a countermeasure if Satella should ever break free from a seal. And it's like, well, you're going to have to revive yourself first if you're going to be a countermeasure.
Yeah, why? So this is a thing about storytelling. If they say something, 100% of the times, they put that in your head for a reason. They say that for a reason, which makes me think that there's some plot to revive her for some reason.
Also, something to consider with ReZero, the narration baits you into a certain way of thinking sometimes. It's very sneaky. Like, it's not exactly wrong with what it says, but it leads you into a false direction.
And that's another thing.
The further you read ahead, the more you'll notice that.
Like I said, there is a reason they say that everything is said in a story, and things are placed in certain ways. It could be a red herring. It could not be. But I think they're gonna. I think they want to revive her. That's what I think. Also a cool little tidbit. I thought Subaru asked about something I can't remember, and Frederica's answer was like, "Oh, that's pretty simple. Until the time of the release of the Sanctuary, to adhere to the oath of the witch." And I can't remember the reason for that. What was the reason for it? Why did she say that again? I read that last night. I don't know why.
I feel like they were talking about like the contract with Roswell, and why he looks after the why he looks after the tomb and stuff like that. I forget the exact context to it now, but something along those lines.
So that got me thinking. I think once the people are all released from the sanctuary, I think we're gonna speed up some shit. I think we're gonna get some answers to some of the mysteries. Maybe not big ones.
You might be. I think you'll be surprised by the things that happen in Arc 4. There's a lot of big things happening in Arc 4. It may not feel like it at the moment, since we've only like seen such a small fraction of what this arc has to offer. But you will be, by the end of the arc, you will be like, I did not expect that going into this at all.
Subaru becomes a cop, arrests Elsa.
Well,
you're under arrest. What did I do, officer? You're speeding.
If Roswell upholds his promises, he may become a holy knight. So that might be cool to see. But I was thinking with Roswell, do you think blackmail could become an option for Subaru later on if they come to blows about things regarding the royal selection? Like, he could threaten to reveal that Roswell is the caretaker of the Richards' grave, And like the witches, that even though Satella is like the main one that's looked down upon it, I feel like any witch, it's like, oh, that's going to be a big no-no for a lot of the people at the capital. But then that would probably backfire on Amelia as well, I think, since like she's endorsed by him. But it's interesting to think, like, if the political landscape were to like change for whatever reason in ReZero, and this plan, could this plan become viable then? Like, a lot of things can happen politically in like 3 years, and we've got like 3 years to the royal selection. So I am curious what's going to happen.
Politics.
Ain't
it great?
It is the best, baby.
I love me some politics.
Going back.
Politics are like sports.
Sports, not like Canabado. I wish it was like Canabado. I wanted to speak about the experimental grounds again. I only said this because I've been watching One Piece recently, but like, I wonder if Roswell is actually working against Echidonna's wishing or something, and is using those like demi-humans as a way of building an army of super soldiers to fight for the royal selection and fight the dragon. I only thought of this like again because of One Piece. There's been some characters that they have like an empire that do like human cloning and shit. They've like amassed like a pretty like powerful army, very awesome powers. It just I was like, huh.
So you're wondering,
maybe there's a thing here.
So you're probably wondering what that sound was, right?
I thought maybe you'd gone away and I was just speaking to myself for a moment. Like, has he abandoned me?
I realized.
I know I waffle about a lot of crap, but he didn't have to abandon me.
I realized my mic was on the wrong setting. It was
Macaroni-chan.
It was on condenser Coafax or whatever it's called.
I've only got a headset mic, so I don't have any fancy options like that. I've got options for the sounds that goes into my ears, but not for the actual mic itself. I just have a simple on-off button for that one.
Well, anyways, I just derailed the whole thing. I really like Subaru's. There's like this little character moment with Subaru that I really, really liked. He's like opening all the doors and he's trying to find Biko, and he can't find her. I know we're like going way into the second part of this, but this is the last note I have, okay? And Subaru's like, man, usually I'm really lucky. And it's kind of revealed, almost like it's made canon, that Subaru is basically Nathan Drake. He's so lucky that
I don't think it's luck. I think Beatrice kind of wants him there secretly.
Oh, they're gonna hold hands?
Absolutely, and Susie's gonna play with her drill lolly hair.
Oh no, not the hair.
Biko, I love you, Biko.
Best couple. What ship?
Greatest, but like
what
they've said. But they've said like multiple times though, like throughout the novel and possibly in the anime too, that how if Biko didn't want anyone to enter the Forbidden Library, they wouldn't be able to. And the fact that we're now seeing like Subaru not be able to after like the conversation they had, like when he's first there at the start of the arc, I think she wanted him there before, and I think there's a reason for that.
Oh,
I know there's a reason for that.
Holding.
Exactly. Hands holding.
We can hold hands, I suppose.
I suppose. Then I'll punch you because I'm a tsundere chain.
But I wasn't necessarily talking about that. I was talking about how Subaru says to himself like he has really good intuitive skills, and he's really good at just making the right decisions by reading the situation.
Yeah, okay. If he says so.
And I was like. It just reminded me of Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Do you know about the cool thing about Uncharted?
I have never. Well, I played like the part of one of them, like the very beginning. I was like, oh, this is.
So you know how you get shot at enough and you die. So
no, people don't die when they're killed.
That's
this
true.
Isn't fate.
So one thing I really learned, awesome thing I learned about this Uncharted is that. In Uncharted, you don't get shot. You get shot at enough, and eventually Nathan Drake runs out of luck. So that health meter isn't like a health meter. It's just when the enemy gets like shoots enough and gets like enough accuracy, and is just gets to a point where it's lucky enough to hit Nathan Drake. Like basically, Nathan Drake's luck runs out when you get hit enough, and then he finally gets hit. So Nathan Drake never technically gets shot in the whole series.
Boo.
The enemies are just really bad at aiming until they're not.
I like people getting shot. I should move to America.
I thought that was really interesting though, because it totally fits Uncharted, and it just brought me back this Subaru talking about all of his luck, and I was like, did they just like try to make Subaru Nathan Drake?
Maybe. To paint that Nagatsuki does like to play a lot of games. I've noticed he he tweets on Twitter a lot about like random games and things. Whether or not he's played Nathan Drake is I have no idea, but who knows?
Garfield, we should play Uncharted together.
I don't want to. I'd rather play that Fate Khalid game.
Fate Khalid. There's a Fate Khalid game.
Maybe it wasn't Fate Khalid.
Why are we talking about Fate Khalid? We need to get back into ReZero.
Okay. I really like Frederica in this chapter.
Oh, okay. Yes, Frederica, strong role in this chapter. Really enjoyed her.
Yeah. Like so many of the characters in ReZero they're looking almost everywhere but ahead. I say everyone, not all of them, but like a lot of the main cast. They're not looking ahead to the future.
Yeah. That is very strange. I feel like there's something about these characters in ReZero, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And I think that may be it, or maybe one of the things of why I can't place what's so weird about these characters. There's a lot of talking about the past. I've noticed, and a lot of focusing on this and that, rather than
and just surviving
what's
sort of
gonna
thing,
yeah, it's almost like in the moment,
just trying to get over what's in front of you, like there's no thought that like no real huge thought of what's to come really.
And like
I expect Roswell has he's got some crazy plans that he's thought very long and hard about, we assume.
It's really weird because like when you go into a show or like a series of any kind, there's like usually a set goal, a set path.
Yeah.
And like while we have that, and it's like Amelia getting to the throne, it doesn't feel like that's the goal of this series. It feels like the true intention of what this series is hidden. Yeah,
like Subaru's just kind of like along for the ride. Like even though he stated that as his goal, he's only doing it because I'm here now, better do something.
Yeah,
sort of thing. And it's we don't know why he was brought there at that specific time. How can Satella summon him there when she's sealed away? Does the story of ReZero, was he even summoned there at that point in time? Did maybe something was he in the world before, like for like a year or two beforehand, and things happened then, and he just happened to someone wiped his memory in the capital. And maybe he thinks he's just been teleported when in reality he hasn't. But
what about
then again,
this?
he also has like the you also have the scene at the convenience store though, and he has his bag of food and everything at the start. So that kind of dispels that theory in a way.
What about this? This could be a cool mindfuck moment. What if like they did this cool thing where it's like all those memories about Subaru, all of the things that happened before going to Lugnica, however they pronounce it. What if all of what we saw in the modern world and all those flashbacks, what if those are memories implanted into Subaru to think that's what happened, but in reality, it never happened, and it was just a way to convince Subaru to go along this certain path to do it?
That would be pretty crazy. And here's the thing with that idea as well. Subaru isn't like the only person to be like teleported to this world. So like, I wonder if that's the same for the other people too. Are they going to be like mind facts, or like does Al know like a bit more than Subaru? Like,
what if this isn't an isekai? What if this is just like a fake out isekai where it's like they just made up that world and it just also happened to look like Earth, and in reality it's all been taking place on this one plane of existence, and it's just a different world somewhere. Dude.
Perhaps, but...
Dude! It's not... Oh, it's like promoted as an isekai, and it's like, oh, you think this is an isekai, right? But at the end, it's just like, this is not an isekai.
Based on how the trials work, though, it would be something of a plot in continuity if that were to be the case.
Continuity.
Unless those memories have been like falsely placed into Subaru, which they would be obvious, which they would have to be incredibly like specific memories, to create such vivid flashbacks for Subaru. I just don't. I feel like the more plausible explanation is he was in the other world before. He went back there and then he came here again, possibly. But I'm not. Maybe, and then maybe I don't know.
I'm telling you, Garfield. Chris Angel wrote ReZero, and he's mind fucking us right now. He's doing some crazy Coca-Cola magic tricks with a can he found in the garbage, and he's putting the Coke back in the can.
And then they're going to play whatever. I'm free to be whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want.
I was going to go with Sexy Boy, but okay. Or the Chris Angel theme.
Yeah, both of those work.
My flag!
Either way, there's going to be some great stuff when it comes to like the full Subaru backstory. Like we've got like a smidgen, but for sure there's more. Whether it be like he was there before, then he had his memory swiped, and he went back home, and then he was summoned again.
Well, we're going to get down to it eventually.
He's been here all along.
Exactly. We're the best ReZero podcast on the internet. Yeah. So we're gonna get
this. This author has a knack for blowing your expectations out the water when it comes to big reveals, and foreshadowing just in general. Like you'll get this huge reveal, and then you'll go back and look at things and be like, damn, that's awesome. That just like how far ahead this guy thinks with things. It's crazy.
Well, I think he thought far ahead, and he realized Amelia's bad. So
Amelia is the greatest. You're fired.
EMA.
Fuck you. EMT. Do the dance with me to the EMT.
Mealy.
I cry.
More notes, Garfield.
Do you think Subaru will be able to mend his relationship with Beatrice? Because it's not in a good place at the moment. Like, there's this bit of narration that kind of made me a little sad when I read it. It's like, it says, but those carefree days are lost, and only now realizing this, Subaru found he couldn't bear it at all. I was like, oh.
I think so.
I really hope so.
I think Biko and Subaru are great, and they're awesome. And
yeah, like
Subaru
Subaru
ship.
is. Yeah, they kind of have this like brother sister thing. I feel like Subaru wants to look out for her a lot.
I feel like there's a genuine friendship there.
Yeah,
not just like one that was like made up
not,
to like.
Yeah, not just for the memes.
Not for the memes
or
the ships. Like I feel like in a weird way, it's like Subaru tries to comfort Beatrice, and Beatrice doesn't care. But I think because of that, Beatrice is like, this guy ain't half bad. And I think I think they're just friends.
I think
BFF,
so too.
BFFs.
It'll be interesting to see when we get more of her backstory about why she was so willing to let Subaru into her library like the first time round so willingly. I'm sure. Have you ever I don't know if you have it in America, but it's like a comic strip called like Where's Wally?
Is it in a newspaper?
No, it's kind of like this comic book where every page is like you have this big sort of setting where there's like 100, 200, some maybe even 1,000 characters like on the page, and the whole point of the book is to find Wally on each page, and he's got this
where's
quirky
Waldo?
little Waldo. Yeah, we call him we call it Where's Wally, but
Yeah.
and there was a line in this chapter that goes, since returning from the capital, he had just been consistently failing at the Guess Where Biko is quiz, and I just thought, that should be a comic strip of Where's Biko. You can have like guest appearances from like Roswell and like Amelia and stuff in like random pages. But that would be a cool one too.
There used to be like I remember like in school, like elementary school, we would have books of those things, and everyone would be like trying to find Waldo.
Whenever I was a kid, whenever you go to like the doctors, like you'd have like the waiting room, and they'd always have like Where's Wally there, and I'd be like, oh, there's Wally, I found him.
Yep. Those
and
are
then
fun.
sometimes when we were just wasting time at lunch or something, we'd have a race. Like me and my friends would have a race to see who could find him first.
Yeah.
But
that's fun. Good stuff. Great stuff.
Since we got, I also want to talk about Elsa just for a little bit. Since we've read the I Am Moe Elsa, the best babe. Since we've read the Ayamatsu If, and knowing who Elsa's sister is from that, I found this thought that Subaru has to be quite amusing. So Subaru thinks, I'll read the quotation. So he goes, no matter how he thought about it, Elsa probably had no reason to extend her murdering blades to the unrelated Arlen village, so protecting the lives of those in the mansion was the most important task at hand. Just remembering how Meili kills Petra and the like, I was like, that's an example of one of those red herrings we talked about earlier.
Yep.
I did think that was amusing, but it's something I picked up on.
So what you're trying to say is Moe Elsa best Elsa?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The new Fate character?
Exactly. She's going to have a spin-off even longer than Fate Lead. There's going to be 10 series, 25 episodes each, and then 5 movies.
5 movies. 6,000 episodes, 2,500 movies. It's going to be good.
It's going to be fucking mega. It's going to inspire Liam and Noel to do an Oasis reunion.
Liam's going to tweet. Just read Fukin Moe Elsa. It's the best Fukin thing I've ever read. Apparently they're making it to a Fukin anime. Noel, have you Fukin read this? And Noel replies, I Fukin have, mate. We're going to get Oasis back to Fukin together, and we're going to call the first album Moe Fukin Elsa.
It's going to be fucking mega in the Alka-Seltzer.
Exactly. Exactly.
There is something making a joke of our continuity meme. Did you notice? So Subaru left 5 days. Hang on. So in the first loop, so Subaru leaves 5 days after the first trial happens. It's either 5 or 6 days. I can't remember the exact passage of time, but in this one he leaves. They specify that he leaves 2 days earlier. And Elsa is still there. I wonder why that is. Do you think she's I wonder if she's like waiting there, like, and if she is, like, that at least gives some leeway for Subaru. Like, if there's not a rush. Like, if that's true, like he can, like, there's not such a big rush. Like Elsa will attack when he's there. I think, possibly, but we'll see about that. In the more loops, we'll see how time varies in the different loops, but there's a 2-day difference, and within those 2 days, Elsa is still at the mansion.
I wonder, maybe it's Elsa's motivations to go there, or maybe because she's on like a reconnaissance mission to find something, some dirt.
Maybe it's reconnaissance. Why is she attacking when Subaru arrives?
Well, because she's fucking psychotic, and she's like, well, I mean, yeah, I need this stuff, but I'm gonna fucking kill this kid.
You're fired.
Well, no. I mean, you don't really know who killed him. It's a dead body. It's just dead Subaru. It's not like that's not anything new, so.
Yeah, but the person who hired her is probably going to figure it out though, and then she's going to get a bad reputation as a slut who goes around and just killing people.
Reputation.
But
Sorry. What are you? Are you having a stroke?
I'm hissing at you.
Hiss. Hiss. Thanks,
I
Sagiri.
also God, Sagiri, best 12-year-old. I also found it interesting that
What?
they Shut up! I'm talking about something interesting here. I found it interesting they keep going back to this escape path thing. They obviously did it in the anime where Subaru is about to go through the door and then he freezes. They've mentioned it like a few times in Arc 4 as well. It's been brought up like quite a few times. And there must be something going on with this. You don't have that level of foreshadowing for just, oh yeah, this is just the secret passageway, and then just have them use it later on in emergency. They're paying quite a lot of attention to detail. They're putting in the extra effort to make sure it's in our in our memories each time. I wonder if maybe Elsa came through the escape path and she's had some help from the inside.
From the end, Frederica has turned on everybody and is just fucking lost, and she's like, I don't know what to do, so I have to help Elsa Chan.
Do you remember that thing we talked about earlier in the chapter where Frederica had, I forget the exact word she used, but she had like a peculiar expression when they talked about Roswell's funny little quirks, I guess we could say. Like I wonder if maybe she is not the number one fan of Roswell, despite owing him a great deal.
Fudge.
I wonder if there is something.
Dark Lord Frederica.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Teaming up with Moe Elsa.
Moe Elsa and Dark Lord Frederica. Do you think I should write a lesbian fan fiction?
Oh,
write in the comments if you want me to write one.
No one's gonna write that. And if they do, they're doing it to spite.
To spite who?
Me.
But you love Moe Elsa.
I love Moe Elsa, but...
And you love Dark Lord Frederica. Yes, you do.
Well, Dark Lord Frederica is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Cool idea. I mean, her motivations would kind of make sense from what. I mean, it wouldn't entirely make sense. You probably need some more development in that sense, but that would be a cool twist as well. Frederica's like, damn you, Mathis! You made me do this, and now I'm evil.
You took my incestuous little brother away. I will get my revenge.
God damn it, Garfield.
And then she turns into Luvia from Fake News.
I love that. I love that Ojo laugh.
Speaking of gags and laughs, I like this running gag of Petra sneaking up on Subaru when Subaru's just kind of like giving a running monologue to himself, and then she just kind of answers him, and he sort of answers and just doesn't notice for ages. It's like, oh hello Petra, I didn't realise you were there. Like he does this I think this is the second time they've done this now, but I forget when they last did it, but they did it a while ago, and they did it again in this chapter, and it was really funny. I thought it was a pretty cute that they're making a running gag of this. It's only the second time they've done it, so it's not like they've ever used it.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty cute scene. And Frederica or Petra was just doing a bunch of stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." Oh no, Subaru opens the fucking thing, and he finds a bunch of jewels. Why would they?
Yeah,
what is up with that?
I was going to mention that, but I had so many freaking notes. I was like, I'm not going to mention that, but I wonder if they're like imbued with magic. There's some sort of
that's what I'm saying.
Like something that Roswell uses for his combat purposes. Exactly. That was my first.
It made me think of Fate when I was like, Reen and Luvia use those jewels with magic with their magic in it, and I'm like, is that what Is that what those are?
Yeah. The author draws like so much attention to so many things, and some of it you can say, okay, that's just an interesting bit of world building, but this is just kind of like so like out of place. Why?
I guarantee you.
Like, why are you bringing notice to that? If it's that for sure is going to come back.
Yeah. And this is what I think is going to happen. I think either one of them's going to try to escape, and they're going to use those jewels, or Subaru's like, hold on, maybe those jewels, and then like maybe like the next chapter or down the road, Subaru's like asks someone, what are those jewels, and is like, oh, this is beautiful magic, and then eventually down the line, Subaru remembers that and goes back to get them.
Like, Subaru isn't very combat savvy either, so I wonder if things go bad with Roswell, if he would steal those and use them for his to improve his combat prowess.
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty smart.
He obviously has, the capacity to use magic. We don't really know like the full extent of how much mana he has. Or do we? I can't remember if they mentioned it or not, but it feels like he has like a reason about the way he releases his Shamrock thing and there's fucking smoke everywhere. It feels like they bring like a lot of mention to he doesn't know how to control his gate, so maybe in the time skip with a bit of practice that will be magic could be a thing for him.
Maybe he can just get a gun. I mean, guns are pretty good,
If I had a gun, I'd shoot a hole into your bum, and Petra won't get killed by Moe Elsa.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, oh, she's probably going to kill Petra after that, isn't she?
I thought for like the first time I ever read this, I was like, no, not little Petra, no, don't kill her. No.
Petra's the most adorable. Yeah. She's the best.
And when I was reading the Iamatsu and like Meili had killed Petra, I was like, no. And then they made it. I felt even more conflicted when they like make you feel sad for Meili at the end when like Subaru's like cradling her. I was like, no, they do this to me. They make me feel this way. But Petra is Chutinder, 100% confirmed. For those who don't know, Chutinder is a nickname we have.
No, not we. You.
for Chitanda from Hyouka, which is a bad anime, by the way. You should never watch it.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Petra says in this chapter, if I wasn't curious, I wouldn't be here. So I'm glad I'm curious. So yeah, Petra is Chutinder, 100% confirmed.
Hodoro, Subaru, 100% confirmed.
No, I'm dropping this anime if Subaru is Hotro.
Wow, Hodoro's... Damn it, Garfield.
Damn it. Hyouka.
Well, it's because... Fuck, Garfield. That's why. It's because fuck. And...
I like... Fuck. Give me a little fuck. Give me some quality hentai with a bit of mutilation.
With a bit of mutilation? What the hell are you watching?
If you look in the Not Safe for Work chat in your server, and you'll see the discussion we had earlier.
There's mutilation porn?
Mutilated anime porn, to be more specific.
It's fucking disturbing. Why would you look at that?
Because it's kinky.
That's not kinky, it's disturbing! Garfield, do you have any more notes?
Yes. I
took you a minute. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I do.
Sorry, I was still on the thought pattern of the whole mutilation thing. I was trying to finish a thought. I was like, oh yeah. But in this chapter, Petra gave a slight hint that she may have some yandere tendencies. I don't know if anyone else picked that up. So I'll use the quotation that I've got to show you what I mean.
What the hell is wrong with you, Garfield? You must taint everything.
Well, that is what my mind does, I'm afraid. I did give fair warning when we started this podcast all those months ago. I think maybe
little Petra is not a yandere.
She totally is. Now listen here. so I'll read you the quotes. So Subaru says, "I'll have to hug you while tumbling all the way down the stairs. You know, if I end up in a coma and never walk again, that will be a way too miserable sight." Then Petra goes, "If that happens, I'll take care of Subaru-sama for the rest of your whole life."
It's because she likes him. It's endearment.
It sounds a little creepy.
No, it's not.
She's feeling pretty yandere right about now to me.
Caring for people is being a yandere.
Yes.
Wow.
You think it starts all nice and fluffy, but soon they lose their fucking marbles and then they want to kill you.
But Petra's innocent.
That's what you think. Why do you think Mei Li killed her in the first place?
What? Because he's a terrible person?
You're a terrible person.
I think that after some of the things you just said, it seems like you're the yandere, Garfield.
Yeah, it was a little rich of me to say, but I don't know. I still think it's true.
You're like, well, some of that was kind of dumb, but I mean, I still believe in it. It's like saying, well, the moon is a giant robot android. It's kind of dumb to think that way. It's stupid. I mean, I don't know why anyone would think that, but it's kind of true. It's pretty much confirmed.
It is. There's lots of cheese on there that turns you into an incestuous monster.
My
fanfics are based in reality, I'll have you know.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you do meth?
No, I haven't even drunk alcohol today.
Today.
I don't think I have in about a month, maybe.
Well,
yeah.
Is that all for the ReZero Podcast this week?
Yeah. Let's give them just a reminder of how great a ship Moe Elsa and Dark Lord Frederica is. If you want to check out an upcoming fanfic, please follow me on Twitter. I will be sure to give you a link when I finish it. It will be, to quote the Gallagher brothers, who will form an Oasis reunion based on how great this fanfic is. It will be fucking mega.
Well, I was going to say follow Garfield on Twitter at DreamoNemo and tell him to upload because he's the Slice of Life Senpai. I'm starting to think that maybe that was the wrong decision all along, and that...
it goes even further than that. You're starting to think, why did I ever decide to do this podcast with this person? Get me out of here. Someone save me.
I feel like I don't even know Garfield at this point. He's a stranger to me.
I'm a stranger to myself. I don't feel offended by these words.
That being said, you can follow me, though, on Twitter at CTacticsFTW. That's right, CTactics, all one word, FTW. That stands for the win, from my old name when I was a gaming channel. I still use that intro sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And you can follow me on my second channel, which is a gaming channel, where I'm doing a Fate Stay Night visual novel playthrough. That's for C-Tactics' second channel. You can find that on my channel page for C-Tactics, which you should subscribe to and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Do the same for Garfield. Go to his channel, Slice of Life Senpai. It's pretty sure that's on my channel page as well. And subscribe to him, tell him to make videos.
I haven't even uploaded anything, so you may be wasting your time on that one, but if you follow me on Twitter or Discord, you can
also join our Discords. Our Discords are very important. You can join Garfield's Discord. It's in the description or comments or wherever I put it. And you can join mine as well. Mine is always in the description for every single video I upload. And you should join both of ours because we both have awesome people in them talking about ReZero. We both have ReZero chats in our Discord servers.
We do. I think mine's better though.
Yes, I agree. Much better. My server, we'll just say, likes Fate a little bit more, and your server likes Fate a little bit less. That's the
I don't know. I think most, because there's a lot of crossovers between mine and your server.
There's only like
it's mostly because I don't like Fate that I never bring it up as like a conversation point. I mean, I like Fate Khalid a lot, especially
tune
the
in
movie,
next week.
The movie in specific, but
Tune in next week as me and Garfield sit down and watch Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. See if Garfield pulls out his hair and kills himself or not.
I'll have killed myself long before, way long before. I wouldn't be able to say.
With that being said, thank you all for watching this week's podcast. Much better than last week's. This week's was an awesome podcast. Yes.
Well, it wasn't last week's good as well. We did the dub and the IMATSy. That was awesome.
No, well, I mean, last week's in canon.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's the IMATSy obviously won't have aired last week if you're watching this whenever you are. But,
watching this like a month from now. So, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.